Salmon DNA. Yes, DNA from salmon being used in skincare. How did it end up in serums and ampules, we ask? And that raises three important questions. First, can salmon DNA actually interact with human skin? Second, can PDRN even penetrate the skin barrier? And third, if it really works, why does most scientific evidence come from injections instead of skincare? Today, we're breaking down the real science behind PDRN, what it actually is, how it works biologically, what the clinical evidence shows. Hi, I'm Dr. Linda Brand, a medical doctor treating mature skin every day in my clinic. So, welcome to part 3 of the biology of aging. Chapter 1. What is PDRN? PDRN stands for polydeoxyribonucleotide. It is a mixture of DNA fragments, most commonly derived from, yes, salmon sperm DNA. But wait a minute. This does not mean you're inserting salmon DNA into your genomes. PDRN is not a gene therapy. It does not rewrite your DNA. Instead, it functions as biological repair signal. Think of it less like genetic editing and more like a biochemical distress signal that activates repair pathways. Chapter 2. How PDRN works. The classic mechanism involves the A2A adenosine receptor, but there is an important nuance here. PDRN itself does not bind that receptor directly. Instead, PDRN fragments are first broken down by enzymes in the tissue. That breakdown releases smaller molecules, including adenosine, and adenosine is what actually activates the A2A receptors. So the pathway looks like this. PDRN fragments, enzymatic breakdown, adenosine release, A2A receptor activation, and repair signaling. This signaling appears to reduce inflammation, stimulate fibroblast activity, support tissue repair, and promote angiogenesis. This is why PDRN has been studied in medical settings such as wound healing, burns, and diabetic ulcers. But remember the question we asked earlier? If this mechanism is real, why does most research use injections instead of topical PDRN? Chapter 3. A second mechanism. There may be another mechanism as well. Cells have something called the nucleotide salvage pathway. This is a cellular recycling system. When DNA breaks down into smaller fragments, those fragments can be reused as building blocks. Instead of building nucleotides from scratch, cells recycle them. This matters because repairing tissue requires large amounts of nucleotides. Every time a cell divides or repairs damaged DNA, it needs raw material. So, PDRN fragments may help provide those building blocks. In other words, PDRN may not just signal repair, it may also provide the materials needed. Chapter 4. PDRN and collagen. In laboratory and clinical models, PDRN has been shown to increase fibroblast proliferation, stimulate extracellular matrix production, support vascular growth, and reduce inflammatory signaling. In injectable aesthetic treatments, some studies report improvements in skin elasticity, hydration, and overall skin texture. But again, most strong evidence comes from injectable or procedure-assisted use, not ordinary topical skincare. And this brings us to the second question we asked earlier. Can PDRN actually penetrate the skin barrier? Because here's where things get interesting. Chapter 5. The 500 Dalton rule. Listen, there's a major challenge with PDRN in skincare, and it has nothing to do with collagen. It has to do with something called the 500 Dalton rule. Most molecules that penetrate intact skin are smaller than about 500 Daltons. PDRN fragments are thousands of Daltons, which means the real challenge isn't biology, it's delivery. Chapter 6. How brands try to deliver PDRN. Because of this barrier problem, brands use several strategies. First, they can use low molecular PDRN fragments. DNA is broken into smaller pieces, typically around 2 to 10 kilodaltons. It's smaller than intact DNA, but still much larger than molecules that easily penetrate skin. Second, they can use liposomes and nano-delivery systems. Some serums encapsulate PDRN inside liposomes, nanoparticles, and lipid vesicles. These carriers can actually help merge with cell membranes and release the payload, but real human penetration data is still very limited. Third, procedure-assisted delivery. Clinics often apply PDRN after procedures like microneedling, RF microneedling, and fractional laser. These treatments create temporary microchannels in the skin. This allows larger molecules to reach deeper layers. And this is where PDRN makes the most biological sense. Fourth, injectable PDRN. This is where most clinical evidence exists. Injection bypasses the skin barrier entirely, which explains why the strongest results are seen in medical and regenerative treatments. Chapter 7. New resources of PDRN. Traditionally, PDRN has been derived from salmon DNA. Vegan PDRN represents a next-generation skincare ingredient that combines ethical sourcing with advanced regenerative benefits, including plant-derived DNA fragments from ginseng, rose, and peony. It supports collagen synthesis, skin barrier repair, hydration, and anti-inflammatory effects, making it a compelling alternative to traditional salmon-derived PDRN for both consumers and formulators. Chapter 8. How to find PDRN in the ingredient list. Another common question is, how do you identify PDRN in a product? Here's an example from POV Beauty, and you can see that the PDRN is high up in the list. And this is the ingredients list for Mixune, where you can see that PDRN is almost at the end of the list. In marketing, you'll usually see the term PDRN, but on the ingredient list it often appears as sodium DNA, sometimes simply listed as DNA derivatives. Chapter 9. Does the amount matter? Yes, but concentration is rarely disclosed. Cosmetic formulas typically use PDRN around 0.01 to about 0.5%. Some ampules claim higher levels, but that varies widely, and this is where the ingredient list placement matters. Ingredients are listed in descending concentration until about 1%. After that, they can appear in any order. So if PDRN appears near the bottom of the ingredient list, the amount may be quite small, possibly more of a marketing addition. If it appears high in the formula, there may be a more meaningful concentration. But even then, delivery still matters. With PDRN, concentration matters, but delivery matters even more. And when you look at real products, some formulas make far more biological sense than others. Chapter 10. What this looks like in real products. So what does this actually look like in real skincare formulas? Let's look at a few examples, because PDRN products are not all designed the same way. And here is my ranking table. When I evaluated these formulas, I looked at 4 things: where PDRN appears in the ingredient list, the overall formula design, the presence of repair support ingredients, and whether the delivery system makes biological sense. Product 1 from POV Beauty, Snatch It. One of the more interesting formulations is POV Beauty Snatch It. This formula combines PDRN with peptides and ceramides, and that combination makes biological sense because you are supporting 3 pathways at once: the repair signaling, collagen stimulation, and barrier recovery. And importantly, the PDRN appears above. Product 2, Medicube PDRN, and they have PDRN Pink Collagen. This is a toning gel toner pad, and this is a capsule cream. This is how it looks like on the inside. This formula includes a peptide complex along with niacinamide and hydrating ingredients. Product number 3, Anua PDRN Capsule Serum. This product uses encapsulation technology, which may help stabilize ingredients and improve delivery. However, as with most cosmetic formulas, the exact concentration of PDRN isn't disclosed. Product 4, Norse Rice and Green Tea PDRN Serum is actually more of a fermentation and antioxidant formula. It contains rice ferment, niacinamide, ceramide, and polyglutamic acid. But in this case, PDRN appears very late in the ingredient list, suggesting the amount is likely quite small. Product 5, and finally the Mixune PDRN Hydrating Gel Cream. This formula includes copper peptides and collagen extract, which are interesting supportive ingredients. But again, the PDRN appears near the end of the ingredient list, so the product likely functions primarily as a hydrating repair cream rather than a high-dose PDRN treatment. So if you decide to try PDRN skincare, the most important thing to look at isn't just the marketing, it's the formula design and where PDRN actually appears in the ingredient list. PDRN makes the most biological sense for Chapter 11, Who benefits most? PDRN makes the most biological sense for post-procedure skin, barrier-damaged skin, inflammation-prone skin, device users, mature skin needing recovery support. If someone is 25 with a healthy skin barrier, PDRN is probably not essential. Chapter 13, A Scientific Nuance. There's one question we asked earlier. How can salmon DNA affect human skin? The answer is surprisingly simple. The building blocks of DNA are universal. Whether DNA comes from salmon, plants, or humans, it's still made of the same 4 nucleotides: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. When PDRN breaks down into nucleotides, cells don't recognize it as fish DNA. They recognize it as biological building material. In other words, cells respond to the signal, not the species. Chapter 14, Biologically Plausible. So let's close the loop. Can salmon DNA interact with human skin? Yes, through repair signaling pathways. Can PDRN penetrate intact skin easily? Probably not, which is why delivery matters so much. And why does most evidence come from injections? Because injections bypass the skin barrier entirely. PDRN is not pseudoscience. It has real roots in regenerative medicine, but the strongest evidence still comes from injectable and procedure-assisted treatments. And what about topical PDRN? It's absolutely promising, biologically plausible, but its effectiveness depends heavily on formulation and delivery. So I wouldn't call it a miracle anti-aging ingredient. I would call it an emerging repair support ingredient with real biology and many unanswered questions, because aging skin is never just one pathway. Next week, exosomes, possibly the most controversial ingredient in modern skincare. And that conversation gets even more complicated. So, see you in the next one.